What's your self-talk? Welcome again. Every week, I come to you and ask that question. What's your self-talk? Now, today, I want to talk to you about how to build resilience. Now, have you ever heard of this word before and maybe wondered, can this something that can be built? Well, I asked myself this question, to be honest. But then I started to reflect and say, well, why would someone even want to build resilience? Before we get into it a little bit more deeper, once again, my name is Jabari, and I come to you every week asking you that question: what's your self-talk? And what are the things that you want to get better at? How can you be more growth-minded than fixed-minded? How can you have more of a positive outlook instead of a negative one? And what are the things you need to tell yourself, and what are the things you need to focus on and then act on it so you can get the results that you want? So we're going to talk about how to build resilience. But first, let's define resilience, okay? So when we go to the internet, it tells us the capacity to recover quickly from difficulties and toughness. Now, this ability to recover quickly from difficulties and toughness. Now, if you're honest, you and I have to have a grip of something before we can say, I want to build resilience. We have to understand this one point I'm going to make with you today. We have to understand that life is not pain-free. You cannot live a life thinking that in order for me to be able to get the results I want in my job, results I want in my family, results I want financially, results I want to leave a legacy, anything that you decide to do, you cannot live a pain-free life. And I say that because when you accept this reality of saying, I can't live a pain-free life, then you open up and say, what are the things that I need to accept and what are the things I need to get better at? See, when you ask yourself a question, that means you're open to receive an answer. That's why I always ask, what's your self-talk? So how do you build resilience? It's a question, right? That means you're now open to understanding I need to get better at building this resilience. So you have to first accept that life is not pain-free. And I learned this at a young age. I remember when I was playing sports, and I understood that my parents would not be able to get me to go to school. They couldn't pay for me to go to school. And I realized I had to accept a role and become the captain of my ship and realize I needed to figure out a way to get, at the time it was the NFL, but I needed to just get to D1. Like all I need to do was get to D1. And I know if I get to D1, I could get a scholarship and I can get my way to school. So did I know how to do that? Absolutely not. But I was absolutely convinced that I was willing to do whatever. And I seen other people who knew how to get there. So I knew I needed to stick to doing the tough work, the difficult things that I need to do. Now, that didn't come easy. I had to wake up earlier. I had to go to sleep later. I had to really watch who I hung around. I had to really dedicate my time, energy, and effort in the areas that was going to help me get to my end result. So at this time, I just wanted to get to D1. I wanted to get a full ride scholarship. Now, at the end of, most of y'all may know this story, but if you don't, I'm just going to recap it again. So at the end of me playing football, this was my sophomore year. I told my mom, you don't ever have to worry about me playing football, paying for me to go to school. I'm going to get my own scholarship. Well, what happened now, my sophomore year got to my freshman year. Guess how many D1 scholarships I had? 0. Absolutely 0. Franklin say, I feel you, bro. And we all get there. Like we do everything right and we know we're on track, but sometimes it's a little bit harder, right? So what happens at this point is I had to make a choice. I had to say, am I willing to make the adjustments to keep my goal, or am I going to give up? Now, what is resilience? Okay, what is resilience? Let's go back to resilience. The capacity to recover from difficulty or toughness. Now, the situation that I was in was difficult. I had to get out of the situation. I didn't have any scholarships. I was not where I wanted to be, but I knew where I wanted to go. You understand? Like, somebody give me a like on that one. I was not where I wanted to be, but I knew where I wanted to go. Do you hear me? Because once you realize that just because you're not where you want to be, you still have the capacity to keep moving forward. And for me, it was no option. I had no other choice. I knew I didn't want to grow up in my neighborhood. I didn't want to stay where I was at. So I had to embrace a reality of build this toughness. I had to overcome this difficult situation I was in. So life is not pain free. And that moment that I realized that, oh my gosh, like this situation is not what I expected. I didn't want to have to face this circumstance I was in. But guess what? I chose to be at a point where I said, I'm going to get to this end result. And that was not a pain-free scenario. And you have to start realizing if you commit to doing something, whether, once again, that's in your marriage, that is in your being a parent, that is, for those that don't know, I'm about to get ready to be a father. So more information coming on that soon. But if you want to have your own business, regardless of what it is, things are going to be difficult because it's going to allow you to start reframing your mind. And I always ask that question, what's your self-talk? Because I need you to start asking yourself the right questions to be open to getting the right answers. Because when you say, I don't want to do this no more, or this is too difficult, I can never do this. Well, you're not closing your mind, and now you're forming a negative mindset. And now you're closing any new information that can be able to come in. That's why I'm so big on asking a question, because you have to be willing to receive the answers. And I'm here to give you the right answers. So what happened from there? I actually did 2 more years in playing football. I went to a junior college. It was a community college. But guess what? Those 2 years was probably the best 2 years. I learned more about my hustle. I learned more about how much more work, time, energy, and effort I had to put in. I grew in my faith, and I actually met my very, very first mentor, who not only helped me get to the end results, which is why coaches is very important, and having mentors in your life is important because you can only get so far by yourself. And then when I got to that end result, I was able to get to D1. Now, I'm going through this real fast because I just want to make one point. Is I got to the end result and I got to D1. I accomplished my goal. Now, I had 2 extra years added on to that. Something that I didn't expect. Something that I did not want. 2 more years of difficulty that I didn't expect to go through when I said that I was going to do this. So what do I mean when I say that? It's going to take more time for you to reach the goal and get to the point that you want to get to. 2 more years. I didn't plan that when I first said told my mom. That was not my goal. But what you have to realize is that when you're committed to something and you're saying, I'm going to get to this end result regardless, and I'm going to make myself better, I'm going to make myself stronger, then what happened? You are not willing to give up. You're willing to find the information that you need to go. So I just want to encourage somebody to push past the excuses, push past the people who doubted you, push past all the excuses that you probably tell yourself that I know I did, but I had to overcome that. So I want you to think about the process that a caterpillar goes into to get to become a butterfly. What is the struggle that they have to go to? So I was listening to something. Tony Evans is a great guy I listen to. I absolutely love him. Yep. Hey, those football practices did help me move back, help me move forward towards today, Franklin. I agree, man. So that built me into the person I am now. People love me. And so thank you, Franklin. Yeah, man, that was a lot. So I want to have you listen to Dr. Evans. I will listen to this today. This is something I listen to first thing in the morning. And if you do not protect your time, if you don't protect what you put into your mind, then you're going to take anything, and then you're going to be like Mr. Ziegler. You're going to be a wandering generality instead of meaningful specific. So I want you to be able to hear what he was telling me this morning that I thought I wanted to share with you about the process from a caterpillar going from a caterpillar to a butterfly. So just real quick, and then we'll wrap it up.
What's happening inside? Something is at work on the inside, trying to show up on the outside. Let me tell you the secret. Butterflies are designed to fly, right? There's only one reason a butterfly can fly. Because it strengthens its wings by the work it does to break through the cocoon. If you slit open a cocoon prior to the butterfly inside the caterpillar, break it open the cocoon, it won't fly. Because its wings are developed through the struggle. No.
So that's it. Why do you need to build resilience? Because you will be able to build the muscles that you need to build to be able to move forward in life. And that's it. Dr. Evans hit it. He basically said the only reason that you cannot split that cocoon and help that caterpillar out is because he has to be able to go through that struggle in order to build the wings to build the strength in his wings to fly. And in order to build strength, that means you have to develop a muscle. Well, that muscle today is resilience. So I thank you for watching. Thank you for just coming in, Franklin. Thank you for commenting today. Thank you for the love. But I just want to continue to come to you and ask you that question. I'm going to always ask you. But the point of asking the question is to allow yourself to be open to the right information so that you can start growing and getting to a point of life that you're happy with who you're going to be. And I'm going to keep coming to you. I'm going to have a mentor program coming out soon. But for right now, make sure you invite people to this page. Make sure you invite people to this show that I have every single week. And if you or somebody, you say, hey, I want you to be able to come to my school and talk, or you want to come to my company and talk, I want you to know. Kiki, thank you. So ask yourself that question, but do not allow yourself to make up the excuses. Get around the right people and allow yourself to move forward in life. Hey, and I'm here for you. I want to encourage you to process off the right information. Maybe your family don't understand, but you're the one who's like, I can't give up. I know I'm not going to give up. I don't want you to give up. But I do want you to understand that you're going through difficult seasons. You're going through this resilience because you have to be willing to move forward. Because guess what? Somebody else is depending on you. Somebody is looking for you to make it through. And you're going to be the hope for them. All right. So thank you for watching. Thank you for the love, Franklin. Kiki, it's good seeing you. I haven't seen you in a while. My dog, Kiki. All right. Thank you for your love. Talk to you soon. You know that question. What's yourself?